Hey everyone, this is Mike and welcome to Black Mage in 4 minutes. Black Mage plays around 2 buffs that can be stacked up to 3 times. Astral Fire will increase your fire spell damage, but it will stop your mana regeneration, and Umbral Ice will make you regenerate mana really quickly. So we will be swapping between these 2 buffs to deal a lot of damage in fire and then regenerate your mana while in ice. To swap between these stances or buffs, we will be using Fire 3 and Blizzard 3. These will grant you full stacks of either fire or ice, and it will also cost no mana when used underneath the opposite buff while at full stacks. We can also use Transpose to swap buffs, but you only are granted 1 stack when doing it this way. We can use fire spells while under ice and the other way around, but we don't want to do that. Try to use fire spells while under Astral Fire and using ice spells while under Umbral Ice. During ice we can use Blizzard 4. This deals damage and grants us 3 Umbral Heart stacks, and the Umbral Hearts will reduce the mana cost for our fire spells. During fire we want to use as many fire spells as possible. Fire 4 deals high damage, but it does not refresh your Astral Fire buff duration, so to refresh the duration of our buff we will be using fire. This also has a chance to grant you the buff called Fire Starter, which makes the next Fire 3 instant cast and cost no mana. To end our fire phase we want to use Despair, which requires a minimum of 800 mana and will consume all of your mana when used, even if you're at maximum mana. We also have a damage over time ability called Thunder. While it is ticking, you also have a chance to be granted the Thundercloud buff. This allows you to use any Thunder spell free of charge, making it instant cast and also dealing all of its damage over time damage as upfront damage, on top of still granting you the normal damage over time effect. While we're under the effect of either ice or fire, we can also activate a Nokian. This increases our damage dealt and allows us to use Fire 4, Blizzard 4, Despair and Umbral Soil. So it's really important that we always have this active. If we maintain a Nokian for 30 seconds, then we're also granted a Polyglot stack, and this can stack up to 2 times. We can spend these stacks on Foul, an AoE spell, or Xenoglossy, a single target spell, and Xenoglossy also has no cast time. For AoE we have Freeze. This grants us full Umbral Ice stacks while also granting us 1 Umbral Heart. Thunder 4 is the AoE version of Thunder, applying a damage over time effect to all enemies nearby your target, and this can also grant you the Thundercloud buff. And then Flare will deal AoE damage and consume all of your mana. If we have 1 Umbral Heart stack, then it will reduce Flare's cost by 1/3. We do have a few more spells that aren't really used once we reach max level, so I'll be talking about those later. First, let's look at some abilities. Mana Ward will put up a personal shield that nullifies 30% damage of your maximum HP. Mana Font will restore 30% mana, and this works while underneath Astral Fire. Ethereal Manipulation allows you to teleport to a party member. Ley Lines will increase your attack speed by 15% while standing inside the ley lines. This only works for you, so don't bother standing in other people's ley lines. We can also use Between the Lines to teleport us back to our ley lines in case we had to leave them. Sharpcast will guarantee the next Fire Starter or Thundercloud proc. Triplecast will make the next 3 spells instant cast, and if you were to use Swiftcast during this, it does not consume the Triplecast stacks. And Umbral Soil will grant us 1 Umbral Ice stack and 1 Umbral Heart stack. You can only use this while under Umbral Ice. This is mainly used during downtime. So let's cover these leftover spells. Blizzard deals single target damage and grants us 1 stack of Umbral Ice. Sleep puts a target and all nearby enemies to sleep. Blizzard 2 deals AoE damage, but we only want to use this underneath our ice buff. Scathe is a single target instant spell and also has a chance to double its potency, and Fire 2 will deal AoE damage. Again, you only want to use this while under the fire buff. All of these spells we will almost never use while we're at max level. So let's round it off with our role actions. Addle reduces the target's magic damage by 10%, Swiftcast makes the next spell instant cast, Lucid Dreaming regenerates mana, but keep in mind that this does not work while we're under the effect of Astral Fire, and Surecast negates most knockbacks. And that does it for Black Mage in 4 minutes, so I want to thank you for watching, I want to thank my Patreons for their support, and I'll see you in the next one.